Welcome, Wolfpack, to episode number 1 of our Ostriv Let's Play series. Very tough to say. This is the first episode of what I hope to be a long series of Ostriv gameplay. Today we're going to take a look at the map, select a location for our camp, and start building our town, starting with the houses. Ostriv is due to be released on Steam in the first quarter of 2020, which doesn't leave them a lot of time. And you can also get it on Humble Bundle, and they will provide Steam codes when it is released on Steam. We do also have a live stream series of Ostriv on a different map on this channel. I will leave that link in the description below. If this is your first time on the channel, please hit that red subscribe button and set your notifications to all. If you enjoy the content, please hit that like button. If you also enjoy military and survival gaming content, check out my second channel. I'll throw that link in the description below as well. This might be our location right near the river, right near the forest, and we have some reeds and plenty of farmland. So this is going to be our start. Settlement right here near the trees. Nice and close to what we need to do. And we're started. 27 people hanging out in tents right now. We have our camp center, which will be replaced by the town hall eventually. We have parking, camp cart parking. We also have these 9 tents. Build a forestry for wood. That's our first quest. There are several other things. We have a resource stack here, and then we have nails, iron, and thatch, which we will run out of. So we have to build our production building to get those. Last thing you want to do is run out of nails, not have a blacksmith or a smithy. It's not going to bode well for you. We also have a well here. We don't have to worry about that right away. It is filled and sustaining the population right now. The food we have here is enough for the first winter and into the second year. Here's our up here as well. They actually go by kind of slow, which is nice. You know, you're not rushed through things. So we're going to go with a forestry for wood production. That first. That is what allows us to start building houses. You guys will start knocking trees and making firewood stuff. First, as close as we can. I'm going to turn it a little bit so it's facing the tents and facing some of the trees. That way they don't have to walk all the way around the building. Lumber in there. Maybe we'll face the whole thing. There we go. There. And builders, we sign from here. Pretty much every male in the village right now is a builder. And they will start to forestry building. The laborers, which we see here, laborers are also working. Those who are not builders, they're also working. They will grab the resources and bring them over to the construction site. One thing I hope they do change is I hope that they allow the laborers to start, once they're done bringing the materials over to the construction site that's in the process. I do hope that they allow the laborers to start gathering resources for the other planned buildings. Right now that doesn't happen. This one has to be fully constructed before the laborers will even bring the materials over to them. Hope that changes. That would be a nice little quality of life thing to have the laborers moving down the line, gathering the resources for the builders. That way, building and stuff. Again, Alpha 2 gameplay. This is most likely going to change, and I'm cool with that. We are going to let these guys drop this stuff off. I do like the meters and how you can track the progress of each and see what you're missing. Here we have our reserved and our awaiting of what we're waiting for. We have plenty of nails already. The nails are all here, and now the building has started with carpenters here. They've started constructing them. We're going to go ahead and lay out a couple of houses here just so we can get a jump on this. I'm not going to mess with the trees just yet. I do want to keep them somewhat close to the settlement. That way we can build off of where we have it. I usually build my town hall area somewhat close, but we may end up tweaking that a little bit. You have until the winter time to build and get 9 families out of tents. You can hold Alt and have it not snap. Right here it wants to snap to everything, which is handy sometimes, but sometimes it's not. I think I am going to leave a little alleyway go through here. One thing I do like about this game in comparison to other city building games that a lot of city games do not have is the complete freedom to twist and turn without being on a grid system. See more when we put more buildings in, but you can have this on an angle, you can have another one on an angle over here. and you really have complete freedom of how you want to build your town. That is one of the nice selling points of the game, and one of the things that interests me quite a bit. I'm going to hold Alt over here, and I'm going to drop this house right in here and leave a path through here, because once the buildings are built, they will have, if they're joined up next to each other, they route themselves all the way around, and sometimes that can cause a big delay in getting resources where we need. I'm going to try to leave some roads. Roads are automatically put in by the paths that the workers take. You'll start to see as the gameplay goes on that the paths will start to be worn into the grass, and the roads, that's what gives us our road look. Workers over here are starting to do their thing, building the forestry. That is the thing that we. I do like how each of the buildings are built by component. It's a very beam and post type of a building. So each, you don't just all of a sudden see a scaffolding go up and a building appears 30 seconds later. You actually get to see and watch this building be constructed. So I think that's kind of a neat feature in the game as well. It's not just a boop, there's a forestry for you. Very, very nice to watch the buildings go up, and the models are very detailed as well. The game is set in the 1700s, as you can see up here. And the construction is pretty close to what they do. The beam and girt, or post and girt construction, as we call it in fire service anyway. Four planks going in. Sip of coffee here. Guys, what's your favorite city builder game? Drop me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite city builder games are. A couple of my favorites are City Skylines. I also enjoy Banished. I played a lot of Banished, and I'm still I would like to get some of that content on the channel. I just it's a time thing for me with the two jobs and 9-year-old. So it's not that I don't want to do Banished. I definitely want to do Banished. It's a time thing. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite city builder game is, what you'd like to see, and also I'd like to hear how long you think these episodes should be. I'm probably going to keep them around 20 to 25 minutes each, showcasing a couple of different things going on. I'm going to try not to edit them down like I have in the past on my military and survival channel. I think that a lot of people who play these games actually enjoy the gameplay instead of just edited down parts of the gameplay. So let me know what you'd like to see, and we will. I will try to adjust it from there, and I could possibly even do an edited series of the same series side by side in playlists. I don't know how that'll work from YouTube standpoint, but it's definitely a possibility if you enjoy that content, or if enough people enjoy that content. We're going to speed up time a little bit here, and we'll let people rest and do their thing. I will get the builders going here, and I will have to periodically do this, or it will probably get a little boring. So I'll try to slow things down when the builders start going. Here we are going to get this building completed here very shortly. I'll try to slow it down as things do get completed. That way we can see buildings in the final phases. And there's our forestry. What we're going to do right here is we click on the forestry, and we click, and we're going to add 2 workers. The forestry will not work unless there are 2 workers to cut down trees. Just the way it works. We could set our upper limits of logs, wood, and then firewood. The forestry takes care of all that. We can also go in and plant a field of trees if we want, just by setting up a similar to a crop field. You can have these guys switch from cutting wood to planting trees and basically restoring the forest, or having a renewable forest. Get out of there. We're not going to plant trees. And we will keep a stash of bark around too. We'll keep 5,000 bark around. I haven't figured out what bark is used for yet. Maybe we'll drop it down to 1,000. Don't know what yet, but I think it's going to be used down the road. I don't think it has a purpose in the game yet, but we will see. We will soon. Here we are. They've started doing what they needing to do for cutting and milling logs and planks. So here we're starting to gather our supplies for the first house of 9 that we have to build. Lay out 8 more of the missing clay, so we have to make a clay pit. I like to place these clay pits down here by the water. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but that's where I usually tend to place them. Tucked in down here, and down the road, this may become an industrial area right around here. But I like to we'll have fishing, we'll have blacksmiths and all things, and the docks, all sorts of things down here by the water. So all up being industrial, which the clay pit would fit in relatively nice. So we're out of clay. Now the laborers will start to come down here and gather clay from the clay pit. That is built immediately and go. So it's got an infinite supply of clay. At least at this point in development, this clay pit's got an infinite supply of clay. So we only really need one unless we get out where this one is just the proximity to this one is just way too far away. We'll only need one for right now. We'll speed up time a little bit. We'll let these guys work on this house. Bringing wood over. Builders are waiting for the materials, and then the builders start building once they get to the phase 1. Now other materials are being brought over, and the builders can continue building through these phases. Builders also have a work day. Track them. Actually, everybody has a work day, but you can track their work day by clicking on them, see how far throughout their work day they are. Again, very detailed game, a lot going on. I do enjoy it quite a bit. Down because the house is going to be real fast. Built the inside masonry for the chimney. Second, the thatch roof will start going up. All the building components are up. Thatch going on right. And then immediately and automatically, the family will move in, and as soon as they get all their stuff out of their tent, they will automatically destroy the tent that they were. Let's get going here, and we gotta lay out a couple more houses. Got a little pathway over there where I think we're gonna make a block of buildings. This one we're gonna go ahead and let it snap together. If you hold shift, you can place more than one at a time. I'm gonna leave this over here for industrial area for. Maybe we'll go over here to our houses. Road there, heading back that way. 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total enough. That gives us 8, and we'll end up building up this way as well, eventually. So that'll give the builders something to do for a little while. Right-click to get out of the build menu and placement menu. We need a Thatchery nearly immediately. That allows the women of the development or settlement to start go to work. Thatchery needs to go down by the water as well. Okay. Now, in order to, these are going to build in the way we laid them down. The Thatchery is going to be all the way at the end, but we're not going to be able to build all these houses with having more thatch. As soon as they get the materials to this house right here and the builders start to build it, I'm going to go ahead and bump the Thatchery up. Women starting to work on gathering reeds and drying reeds. The other thing you got to watch is the smithy. You need to have this smithy built before you run out of nails, otherwise you are in trouble. Have any nails, and probably if you don't have a smithy, you probably will not have a trade center just yet. Right here, if you don't have this trading post, you have no way to get any more materials, and that pretty much completes the series right there. So we have to be careful that we don't overrun that. I'd say by the winter, I would like to have the Thatchery in progress. I'd like to have the blacksmith going. I would like to have at least one fishing dock up, at least built, maybe not running. And then we also need a boatyard to build the boats for the fishing docks. Can't fish. They don't fish off the shore in this game, like in Banished, where they actually fish off the shore and gather fish. You actually need to make fishing boats for the fishing docks to use. So construction's going well over here on the village house. We'll have 27 people. We won't get any more people until we build extra housing above the 8 and 9. We won't get any more housing until build our 10th and 11th house, and then people will start to move. But you also have to balance that very carefully, as I said in the live stream. Be very careful that you don't outrun your food supply. You definitely need a supply of fish, and you definitely need some farming first before you start building extra housing, because these people start to starve to death and they either die or move out. We will most likely have to move our well. This is the only well. I may end up building another well over here, be like a transition area between the industrial area down here and maybe the farming area. But you do not want these people over here traveling all the way over here to get water. Otherwise, water and spend all their time running back and forth trying to supply their house, and they won't be able to work. There is an economy in the game, a basic economy in the game. You do have imports, you do have exports. You can sell the goods that you're creating. There's all sorts of things that you can do in the game itself, which is kind of cool. We'll go over that as the game progresses. As you'll see right here, we have no market, we have no housing available, we have no jobs available. So that's what we're doing right now, is creating jobs, creating houses. And then the markets are where we start growing food. We can sell the food in the or process the food and then sell the product in the market, like wheat. You process the wheat using a windmill, is right here, and then you can sell the flour. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up time, and there's a second house and a second family. They got a little baby there, 7 years old. These two don't have any kids yet, and you can see they're moving all of their food over. As soon as all their food is moved over, their tent disappears. Now we're going to go down here. They're going to start to build the Thatchery. This, again, is one of the critical components of the game. We'll slow it down here. It's almost done already. And the Thatchery is, like I said, a critical component of the game. So get the women working in the Thatchery right away, and you will get 2,000 reeds and then thatch right away, and you need all that for pretty much any building that you construct from now on. And now we go back to housing. So next, I think we're going to place a smithy in here so we do not forget about the nails. Go ahead and drop this. Right here is a corner building. Right in there. That will go in the end. That will be worked on after we get all of the houses in. With that, I also want to put in a fishing dock. Kind of a neat little spot for right in here in the inlet. That right there. That done, or at least started to be built. We eventually need to do that. And with the fishing dock, if we have a boatyard, we can might be able to, and I'm gonna wait until that tent is gone. Boatyard right next to. I'm gonna hold off on that. We'll see. They'll start to lay out the thatch here in the middle of the yard here. They already have 240. 200. I'm sorry. They already have 20 reeds there. We've got 240 thatch. It's there drying. Now there's 260. It dries pretty quick, and you'll see as it stacks up, they're moving around. They do animation. Already at work on our third house. Check our housing here. 8 houses. A little bit larger yard. There we go. Up that will be our last to complete the quest there. That'll be the last. So we're going to speed up time and let the houses be built here. Really not a ton of extra stuff to see at this point. It is a slower paced game than what I'm used to. If you've ever watched me play my survival and military content, this is definitely different than that. I do appreciate you guys watching. I do like to just chill out with these games instead of always being on edge on a survival and military type game. House number 3. So you see this path right here that they're taking back to the houses. That will eventually start to form a road. Or at the beginning of the episode, we didn't have any of these pathways showing at all. And by them walking on it, started a pathway. And there you could see what we were talking about in our earlier part of the episode. The laborers will now start to bring materials for this house or any other house until this one is completed. I will be doing some content on the development of this game as well, so I will link that in the description below as it becomes available. You will definitely see some dev updates. I think they're getting ready to do another patch very soon when they go to beta phase or when they release on Steam. So I will have a video out doing some screenshots that they have and then some of my thoughts on the game. I do plan on playing this game quite a bit, so it will be a good series. All right, hopefully I don't kill off everybody and make them move out in this series. As I stated before, I enjoy these games. I never said I'm good at them. Moving through June here, and we almost have all of our houses built. We need 3 after this one. Well, see which tent gets taken down. So I think this is going to give us a nice spread to be able to do things and keep our laborers and our workers relatively close by building across like that way. Whatever farms we do over here, any industrial areas that we do down here, or anything like that, and that also leaves a nice area for a town hall if we want, and some warehousing and that market areas. We can do all that in this area, and then we are going to jam a well over here by the river. That's tree line over here. One of the things you can do is you can also decorate things too, so I'll probably be doing that a little bit while we're waiting for things to be built. Right in. Get over here. Around. Put a fence around it. Alright, let's slow time down a little bit. So the well's going to go in here, and what I was saying before is you can decorate it. Put a nice fence around the well. This is the way you decorate your towns and make them. Cemetery. That's be another fence built right here with this house. Down if they want. Take her long to figure it out. Heading over there, sit down, and you can also plant your trees or bushes. Again, if you hold shift, you can place down more than one time. You can decorate and make it look like a realistic area, which I'm kind of excited to do. I don't get to do that a lot. I used to do that with City Skylines a lot. I will be playing City Skylines on this channel as well. That's one I've planned eventually. Again, it's just a time thing at this point, but playing. I love that game. About 800 hours into it. Not as many as some of the YouTubers out there, like Corrales or Raptor or some others out there, Zardis. 100% they're a lot better at it than me, and I'm not that great at it, but I do enjoy playing it. We'll speed up time here, and if something happens, we will bring you back. Go figure. The one tent that we need to be place the boatyard is the last tent to be torn down over here. That's pretty much par for the course for any game that I play. That's funny. But we have a pretty good town brewing here. Wrap it up by letting this house be built. We have completed our first quests. We have built all of the houses that we need and the forestry that we also need, and all of our families are out of the tents that they arrived in. In episode number 2, we will continue by constructing a second well for the distant houses. We'll also build a smithy to construct nails out of iron. We'll build a fishing dock and an associated boatyard so we can do fishing for food. And then we'll try to get a farm constructed before the next planting season so we can get a crop in the ground and have food for the next winter. Again, if this is your first time on the channel, please hit that red subscribe button and set your notification to all so you don't miss any Ostriv or any other strategy or simulation content that I post. You should be seeing the Ostriv live stream series. That's the other series we're doing, popping up onto your screen right now. If you also enjoy survival and military content, check out my second gaming channel. I will leave that link in the description below if you need that. Continue on to episode number 2 by clicking the card showing up right now. Click either one of those, and we will see you over there.